In the fourth section, in the account protector part, by clicking on this option, a panel will be displayed for us where Forex traders, global gold ounce traders, and also prop traders can easily control their emotions using this panel. They can prevent overtrading or excessive entries, as well as avoid consecutive losses, consecutive profits, entering trades during low volatility periods, or unauthorized profits and losses, and manage their trades effectively. This panel has 7 tabs, and in each tab we can set different sections based on our strategic system and trading plan so that it prevents us from entering a trade and serves as a restriction. The first tab is related to volume, and in this tab there are various sections for us. The first section concerns the maximum trade entry size, which is set by default to 0.1 lot. This means that in each trade we are only allowed to enter with 0.1 lot. Here I am changing the different restrictions so that they do not prevent us from entering a trade. If I want to enter a trade with a volume of 1 lot, while my restriction is set to 0.1 lot, the expert advisor will issue a warning for me. In this warning, it tells me that the position size has exceeded the allowed limit. However, if I set my trade entry volume to the maximum trade entry size that I have set as a restriction, I can easily enter a buy or sell trade in the market. The next section is specifically related to the max daily size, where in this section we can specify and set the maximum total trade entry volume for a single day. For example, here I set the value to 1 lot, which means that during one day I am only allowed to enter 10 trades with a volume of 0.1 lot each, so that the total volume of all my trades equals 1 lot. If I try to enter a trade with a volume of 2 lots here, the expert advisor will issue a warning and prevent me from entering the trade. In this warning, it tells me that the position size has exceeded my allowed daily limit. However, if I set the volume equal to the limit I've specified, and then try to enter a trade, it will still issue this warning to me. The reason is that I had previously entered a trade with a volume of 0.1 lot, and now if I want to enter a trade with this volume, the total of my trades will be 1 lot plus 0.1 lot, which equals 1.1. If I set this section to 0.9 lots so that I can add it to my previous trade, the total of these two trades will be 1 lot, and the expert advisor will allow me to enter a trade in this section. In the next section, I can specify the maximum number of trades per day. If I set the number to 5 here, I am only allowed to execute 5 trades in one day. At the moment, we have executed 2 trades and the 3rd trade. The 4th trade, and at most the 5th trade. If we try to enter a 6th trade, the expert advisor will prevent us from entering the trade and will display a warning message telling us that the number of our positions has exceeded the daily allowed limit. The next section is specifically related to max daily sequential loss and max daily sequential profit, where in this context, we can set the maximum number of consecutive losses and the maximum number of consecutive profits. Here you can see that since I set the number 3 in this section, and because the number of trades we opened and the consecutive losses we had was equal to 3, it displayed this message for us, which says, the number of our daily consecutive losses has exceeded the allowed limit. For the profit section, it works exactly the same way. You can set a limit for the number of consecutive stop losses and the number of consecutive profits so that you can prevent greedy trades or revenge trading in the market. In the next section, you can set the maximum trade entry size for the week. For example, here I set the value to 1 lot. And if I try to enter a trade with the volume of 2 lots, the expert advisor will prevent this and issue a warning message telling me that the position size has exceeded my allowed weekly limit. The next section is related to the number of trades in a week, specifying how many trades I am allowed to execute within a single week. So if I set the number here to 8, or even if I set it to 5 and try to enter a trade, the expert advisor will prevent this because we had already executed a number of trades before, and now we have exceeded our weekly limit. The next section is related to the maximum number of consecutive losses and the maximum number of consecutive wins in a week, which we can set these values in this section. For example, if I set the value to 3 and try to enter a trade, the expert advisor will prevent this and will issue a warning message for this situation. Well, friends, we've reached the end of this part of the tutorial. In the next sections, we'll explain the other items and tabs. We would greatly appreciate it if you could take a moment to share your thoughts, comments, and any suggestions you might have with us. Your feedback is very important and helps us improve. Please leave your valuable input in the comment section below.